Welcome to the Buck Brief. Two big stories that are breaking as I get ready for the weekend here and send you off into yours as well. One is that Catherine, the Princess of Wales, has cancer. She said this in a video. The other is that 40 people so far have been killed in a mass casualty terror attack at a Moscow concert venue. Now, these are both happening on Friday afternoon, so I wanted to spend some time analyzing these as we go into the weekend, respectively. The first thing is, it is remarkable to me that the story about Kate Middleton is getting more focus, and I'll just be honest with you, receiving much more prominent placement in the media than a terror attack where over 40 people are dead. I am still struggling to understand why Americans, any Americans, feel a particular closeness to the British royal family. To be very clear, Kate Middleton seems like a lovely person, and I hope she beats this cancer as easily as she can and makes a full recovery, and I pray for her and her family. And it's not about that. It's about the way that there's an obsession in this country with the British royal family still. I don't understand where this comes from. I don't know why that every news, as I speak to you, CNN, the Washington Post, the Daily Mail is British, but CNN, the Washington Post, Fox, all of them, there's a terror attack that is unfolding with dozens of people being murdered at a concert hall in Moscow, and there's a much greater focus in the global news media on a cancer diagnosis for the Princess of Wales, Kate Middleton. Where are the priorities of the news media? Why is this something that, here's how I would put it, I am as concerned about Kate Middleton's cancer as I am about any other person's cancer that I find out about, whether person I know in my own life or that I read about. I wish that person well in their battle against the disease. I've had cancer, still have cancer in my family, and have lost people to cancer, so I understand all of that. But there's something, I think there's something infantilizing about a make-believe connection between the American people and the British royal family as a general thing. And once again, we're seeing this. People really care about a hereditary monarchy that is thousands of miles away. We don't care about the other royal families in Europe at all. No one can even name them. No one even knows that really, most people don't even know there are any other royal families in Europe. And there are, it turns out. I don't understand. I think there's something of the cult of personality at work in a way that people might be better off spending some time thinking a little bit more about. Like, why is this something that is so emotional? And I honestly just am at a loss for it. Why this is considered, why the royal family is considered such a newsworthy item. They have no power. They do not matter beyond any other person, except they are celebrities, effectively. So if I found out that a actor in Hollywood had a cancer diagnosis, I would be saying, I hope that person beats it and does well. I wish that for anybody who faces a serious disease. But treating this like it's the most important, this is being treated like it's the most important thing in the world right now by the corporate news media. And there's a mass casualty terror attack that we're still just finding out about as I speak to you. So that's why, I think that's what is, in my mind, showing something here. You know, there's some misplaced sense of priority, and that's what I'm reacting to. I don't get it. I don't get it. What's happening in Moscow is horrific, and people have lost their lives. Dozens and dozens of them. There'll be many more that are casualties, and the building's on fire. As you are listening to this over the weekend, you will know more even about this than I do. I'm in the breaking news moments of it, but I just don't understand how anybody who is running a newsroom could say the bigger story is Kate Middleton's video saying that she is going into chemotherapy. Again, people can make whatever editorial decisions they like in newsrooms, but I don't know. I suppose this is where you have just different, like I said, different priorities. I am baffled. I am baffled by how much Americans, honestly, I think I'd be baffled if I lived in the UK as well, but how much Americans seem to care about the British royal family. I mean, now I can speak a little more freely because I do feel badly for Kate Middleton. As I said, I feel badly for any person who has cancer. I mean, the King of England is an idiot. He's a buffoon. He's a climate change loon. If you look at him, he doesn't seem to be a particularly honorable or a good person, but he's the King of England, so we're supposed to sit around and say, oh, he's the king. Why? Because he was born with that? I don't like nepotism. I don't like hereditary titles. I don't like any of this. I don't like lineage-based powers and authorities. I'm opposed to all of it. So I guess that consistency makes me run afoul of the tabloid-obsessed cult of personality, celebrity media apparatus. But I'm just laying it down. I can't. All I ever hear from people about why I'm wrong on this is a lot of people care. And to that, I just always say, I don't care what a lot of people think. All that matters is what is true. Right? That's all I'm saying. Now let's talk about the terror attack here in just a moment. I'll give you the details on what I think this is likely to be. You will know more than I do as you listen to this because it'll be out over the weekend. So if anything is wrong, just know that it's Friday afternoon as I am currently speaking of this. And so there'll be more information that is breaking on it. But if you have valuables at home, things you need to protect, guns, jewelry, cash, you need a safe to protect them. And that's why I have a Liberty Safe. Look, Liberty Safe is awesome. Made in America, by Americans, for Americans. Tons of different colors, tons of different sizes, and different specific attributes. I got exactly the Liberty Safe that fit in exactly the space I wanted. It looks great. Carrie loves it. It looks really good. And your privacy is also built into every Liberty Safe. Industry-leading privacy protections because your safe is your business. Shop libertysafe.com/radio for a customized Fortress Strong Liberty Safe and use coupon code RADIO for a 10% discount for supporting Liberty Safes made in America by Americans. You'll also get a free $60 value locking gun vault with your Liberty Safe purchase reserved for members of this audience. Go to libertysafe.com/radio, coupon code RADIO. That's libertysafe.com/radio. Now, as we look at this terror attack that is happening in Moscow, first of all, it reminds me very much, in the early stages at least, of the 2002 Moscow theater siege, killed over 180 people. There were almost 1,000 people in that theater. And Chechen terrorists, remember, Russia has fought multiple wars in the territory of Chechnya, the invasion of Chechnya. Putin led those wars. Very brutal, very nasty and destructive conflicts. And there are jihadists in Chechnya. There's a Muslim population of there are Muslims rather in Chechnya who are jihadists, and some of them. And they had a mass casualty terror attack that was horrific because the Russians, it seemed, had figured out a way to end that. They had suicide bombers in that theater, female suicide bombers, by the way, in that theater, and Russian special forces / SWAT went in there, and I forget exactly. I don't know if it was a Spetsnaz unit or some kind of Russian special police unit, but went in after they had put gas in the theater, and the gas had knocked people. It was like a knockout gas, basically. It was like a nerve agent, knocked out everybody in the theater, but a lot of people were brought outside the theater, civilians, and they died there. So I think many more people were killed by the gas than killed by the terrorists. So that was a catastrophe of Russian counterterrorism failure. In this instance, from what we can see on the videos, there are terrorists running around at a concert venue in Moscow, at the Crocus City Hall, and it's on the outskirts of Moscow. And there you can just see people walking around in camouflage with rifles, and they're just shooting civilians. So it's a clear terror attack. The Crocus City Hall building on fire in the videos. My sense of this, and generally I wouldn't make these kinds of predictions so early in this kind of a situation, because I may very well be wrong, but at least you'll know where my thought process is on it. My sense is that this is a jihadist terror attack that is likely unrelated to the war in Ukraine. That would be my first guess. Of course, there is a war going on in Ukraine, and that means that there may be some splinter faction of anti-Russian, pro-Ukrainian forces that. But my sense is this is anti-Russian jihadists. They still hate the Russian Federation. There's still tremendous bitterness in Dagestan and Chechnya and these little Islamic republics that are on the in the Caucasus region, the Caucasus Mountains, that are offshoots of the Russian Federation, or on the outskirts of the Russian Federation. So I think it's very possible that that is what we will find out happened here. And it's a reminder of the, even in a very tight security state in a lot of ways, which I think the Russians operate, or at least a heavy-handed security state, terrorist infiltration, very standard, straightforward terror tactics, just finding soft targets, infiltration with people who have some degree of training. You can create a mass casualty attack very quickly. And we are susceptible to that here as well. We have gone through a period with very few of these attacks. If you remember the Obama administration, they were happening regularly. There was San Bernardino and the Pulse nightclub in Florida, and there were these mass shooting attacks by jihadists. It's been a while since we've had anything on that scale, but with our absolutely wide open southern border, as well as all the self-radicalization that's going on the internet, you have to assume that there's a very high risk factor of something just like this happening in the United States. And that's, as I see this, I'm reminded of that, because my first priority is America and the defense of of my fellow Americans, as much as I am also thinking about and hoping for, praying for the souls of the deceased in Russia, and also the families of the Russian people who have been killed here. My first priority in a national security sense is to defend America and American interests. I also want to talk to you about my Patriot Defender. This is a legal defense for you and me at the time that we need it most. You speak up at a school board meeting about vaccine mandates and suffer consequences, your legal defense is covered. If your right to free speech is denied, suffer consequences, your legal defense is covered. Patriot Defender, their website is patriotdefender.com. And if they can't already, soon they'll be able to provide this membership in your state. Go check it out and see. Go to patriotdefender.com. They can also provide you with open and concealed carry self-defense, legal assistance, IRS audit assistance. And if your business or your income or reputation are harmed due to the weaponization of government, it's been happening a lot these days, you have a no-cost defense option from Patriot Defender. I'm a partner in this business. I'm a member of Patriot Defender as well. I have a membership with them. I believe in what they're doing. Go to patriotdefender.com. Again, patriotdefender.com. Also wanted to say thank you to everybody who came out and saw. We had almost 900 people at the speech in Beaumont, Texas. Thank you to the Texas Energy Museum. I'm hoping to put some of that, maybe all of that audio in this stream and on the video here as well. So if you're listening on audio, please subscribe to the Buck Brief on YouTube, and also keep an ear out, if you will, on the podcast stream for some of that speech. I got into the incredible energy record the U.S. has had in the last year. Number one for oil production in the world, number one for liquefied natural gas, LNG, and the export of it. So great times for the fossil fuel industry, which is amazing for the American people, despite all the climate change hysteria that's out there. So that's in that speech. I'm hoping to put it up here. And I'm also going to be following these stories and following specifically the Russian terror attack here. If I have more on it over the weekend, I'll probably tweet it out. Might even do a special podcast to update the story. Thanks for spending time with me. As always, Shield Time.